Alright, what's up, y'all? It's been a while since I made a video, but I felt like I had to make this one. Um, alright, I've dated a couple of weird people in my lifetime. Like, the ugly ones, the ones with the bad breath, guys with three nipples, and I licked all three of them. This one, and the one underneath, So I'm really not a judgmental person. I'm a very, very understanding, easygoing, laid back person. But I draw the friggin' line at a midget. I draw the line at a midget. And I don't know. Midgets freak me out. I'm sorry. But I should say dwarfs because the guy got offended when I call him a midget. But here's what happened. I just got out of a relationship a couple weeks ago. And a few of my friends thought that it would be nice to set me up on a blind date. So I was like, at first I was reluctant, like a blind date. Like, I'm not desperate. You know what I mean? Like, that's just making me feel really, really bad, like really low. So they were like, nah, it's okay. Like, he's a nice person, blah, blah, blah. Telling me all sorts of good things about the guy, but not telling me that he's a midget, which is like super duper important. Um, and usually height doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if you're taller or maybe like an inch or two shorter than me. That never really bothered me. So I didn't care to ask about the height. So they gave me his number, and a couple days later, I decided to hit him up. Like, I mean, the worst that could happen is that I don't like the guy. So, I call him, hello. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, he's got a nice little, nice, deep, sexy voice going on. That's nice. So I was like, hi, this is Toya. Such and such gave me your number. He's like, oh, what's good, ma? So that right there was a little bit of a turn off because I don't really like the whole ma kind of thing, like the hood thing. But I decided to ride it out anyway. And funny enough, like we had a relatively decent conversation. Like I wasn't impressed, but I wasn't disappointed, really. It was more like what I expected. Um, so we continued having like phone conversations for a couple days, and then we said, you know what, let's meet. Let's meet in person. Like we got good mutual friends, you know. Let's see what this is about. So we made arrangements to meet up. He drives. So he tells me what kind of car he drives and that he's coming to pick me up at around such and such a time. So it's like, okay, so it's drawing nearer to the time and I'm sitting outside waiting for him. And the car pulls up. So I'm thinking he's about to jump out the car, come give me a hug real quick. You know what I mean? Like something like that. No one came out the car. So I was like, okay. So I walked over to the car. I opened the door and I was shocked. Like just shocked because he was seriously sitting on stacks of phone books. And then like the gas and the brakes, like the car was pimped out basically, because like the brakes and the gas pedals were like all the way up, like they were modified for a midget. And I was like, oh. He's like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm good. He's like, are you okay with this? I'm like, I'm fine with it. I'm just a little surprised because no one really mentioned it to me that you were a midget. He's like, yo, like, chill with the midget thing. Like, I prefer the word dwarf. I was like, yeah. No one told me that you're a dwarf, and I'm just surprised that you didn't mention it at any point in our conversation. He's like, yo, I'm sorry. If you don't want to, you don't have to come. So he started getting all defensive. And I'm like, no, like, it's not a problem. Like, seriously, I don't mind it at all. Like, let's just go. Let's have a good time. It's like, all right. So he started calming down. I'm like, thank God, because I don't want to see a midget get mad. So we're in a car, we're driving, and he starts going like really fast. And I'm scared as shit because I'm like, what if his little foot, like, I don't know, like slips off or some shit and we crash? So I'm like, could you slow down, please? Like, I don't like driving fast. He's like, we're only going 50. I'm like, yeah, but the speed limit is 45. And he's like, yo, relax. Like, it's not that serious. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we get to the restaurant. It's in Manhattan. We get there. We went to the parking lot. Um, I'm sitting in the car, like, I'm contemplating whether or not I should get out and help him out of the car. But then I'm like, I don't want him to feel bad, because you know how people with disabilities might get mad because you're doing things for them. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna let him do the shit on his own. So I got up, and he literally jumped out of the car, like jumped, like dived off of the fucking phone books, dived onto the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. And stuff like that makes me laugh usually, but I already see that he has a temper, and I didn't want to really piss him off, because then I'm gonna have to like kick him real quick, or like, you know what I mean? Like, just do him like a soccer ball or something. So I was like, forget it. Let me not laugh and get this man upset. Um, so he comes around to me. So he's like, yeah, baby. So what you want to eat tonight? So it's kind of like, I don't know. When we get inside, we'll look at the menu. I'll decide then. He grabs my hand. And I'm like, I felt really weird, because I'm thinking maybe people think this is like my kid or my little brother or something. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt so weird. And then it took us like an extra 20 minutes to walk from the parking lot into the restaurant, because, you know, their legs are like super short. So we finally got there, and the lady was like, so will you be dining by yourself? I'm like, no, table for two, please. And she's like, and how long is your guest gonna take? And I'm like, my guest is here, like, it's the two of us. I pointed at the floor, and I really felt bad for him, because, you know, like, I could just imagine how embarrassed he felt. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Like, really, I am so sorry. I did not see you. He's like, yo, chill. It's all right. Don't sweat it. And I'm like, yo, he got this big ass swagger for a little person. Like, his ego was woo way up here when he's like down here. So I'm like, all right, that's a good thing, I guess. You know what I mean? We sat at the table, and I'm there like, so like looking over and talking to him, like, so yeah, you know, whatever. And the food comes, and dude was like, the table is like up here, and he's like all the way down here, like. And I'm wondering, like, does he know what he's taking off? Like, does he know what he's about to eat? It was just a funny friggin' date. Like, really funny. But, you know what? As funny as it was, it's like something that I could look back at and laugh at. But it's also sad. Like, I'm not desperate, guys. I don't need a midget in my life, all right? Like, I really don't. Midgets really scare me, to be honest with you. They actually scare me. I don't like extremely short people, because they're just so small, and their parts are kind of big for their little size. Like, y'all see the little people thing on the TV? They asses is like mad big, and they just look weird. And this little one, like, he was too much for me, like way too much. If he was like one of those decent, you know, calm me back kind of person, I'd have been okay with it. But my dude was mad cocky, like OD cocky for nothing. So I don't know. But no more midgets, please. No more guys with 3 nipples. If you're gonna set me up on a blind date, at least check the dude's chest. Make sure it's only 2, because I don't want to have to cater to an extra nipple. It's bad enough, like, it's taking me a minute to get my nut. Like, I have to, you know, work all the way to 3 nipples, and I can't be bothered. Make sure he doesn't have bad breath. All that. You know what? Fuck it. Don't even try to set me up with no one at all. Period. I'm done. I don't think I can deal with the new dating pool now. Like, guys are mutants. But, you know, just felt like sharing it with you guys. Bye.